Mr. Sitanshu Bachheti. He is working with Armacell India Pvt.Ltd as Key Account Manager West, and he is responsible to drive business development activities in the western part of India. Coming from an engineering background, Mr. Sitanshu has PCT in Business Management with more than a decade of experience in business development of technical products and services, and provides solutions that match the design technical specifications. His major focus is on sectors like IT, ITES, data center, hospitality, healthcare, retail, and residential, and is enabling end-to-end service from designing till application of insulation products. Today, Mr. Sitanshu will give us a brief view on role of insulation in managing cooling efficiency of HVAC equipment in data center. So delegates, let's welcome Mr. Sitanshu.
Thank you, Mr. Gopal. I'd like to discuss a brief about the company, and then I will discuss about our major topic of cooling efficiency and how we are doing it in data centers and some project references. Armacell is a German MNC. It is headquartered in Luxembourg. It has regional offices in Singapore, Münster, and Chapel Hill. It is 3,000 plus employee worldwide. It has 24 production facilities in 16 countries and 4 continents. It invests largely in R&D to develop new products to enable energy efficiency equipment. We started off in India in 2005. We have a state-of-the-art plant in Pune, and we are 196 people strong team in India, enabling delivering our products and services to the customers across India. Also, we have a very good distributor network to make available our products. As Mr. Gopal has mentioned, we are already in the end markets like IT, ITES, energy, industrial, light industrial, residential, and sports and leisure and transport. Our major product brands are before you. The very old brand and the legacy brand is Armaflex. It was invented in 1954. Then we have cladding as a product. We have a product for acoustics, and we have some bed phones which go in different applications. The main topic which I'll be discussing will be thermal insulation. Armacell products are characterized as flexible elastomeric foams. They are rubber-based. Rubber-based foam on synthetic rubber. And the generic is nitrile butadiene rubber, most commonly known with the trade name nitrile rubber. And it has a mention in National Building Code for applications like ducting insulation, chill water piping insulation, and acoustic insulation. Now, after a brief introduction of my company, we come to our main topic of discussion: role of thermal insulation in maintaining the cooling efficiency in data centers. So the main objective of any thermal insulation is to resist the heat flow from 2 different temperatures by slowing down the heat exchange between the 2 different temperatures. So in this way, it prevents the heat gain from ambient surface, maybe in a duct, to the air, the cool air flowing inside the duct. And the second most important objective is to prevent condensation of humidity present in the air surrounding that medium, because it affects the performance of the insulation as well. When these 2 objectives are met, it contributes to a system which is energy efficient and, as a result, reducing carbon emissions. So it is very important to select the right thermal insulation for an application. The first parameter in order to select the insulation is thermal conductivity. It's a property of a material to conduct heat through it. So for an insulation, lower the thermal conductivity capacity, better is the insulation. So as you can see, one of our product, Armaflex Glasso, which is a flexible closed cell elastomeric foam insulation, has a very low thermal conductivity of 0.035. Another important design criteria is the water vapor diffusion resistance. Now, if an insulation absorbs water vapor, allows absorption of water vapor through it, then it forms a conductor, because water has a very high thermal conductivity as compared to any other general. So for an insulation, it is very important that it has a very good water vapor resistance factor, which we most commonly know as mu. And in case of Armacell thermal insulation, being a closed cell structure, so it prevents the water vapor to diffuse within itself. If this prevents the conductivity performance of this insulation, and also it prevents the life of the utility, that is the pipe or a duct, because in many cases it has seen that when water vapor gets diffused through insulation, corrosion happens. The third very important factor is a surface coefficient of heat transfer. It is based on the design thickness of the insulation, and the main objective of designing the thickness of the insulation is to keep the surface temperature of the insulation above the dew point temperature of the ambient air. This is because if the surface temperature of the insulation drops below the dew point of the ambient air, then condensation happens, and you might have seen many incidences, a bucket kept in a mall just collecting the dripping water. So when all these parameters are utilized to select an insulation, then we see that what are the application areas wherein we can use insulation to maintain cooling efficiency. The very first application is the ducting system in any data center, because here the air which is moving inside the duct is at very low temperature than the ambient temperature. So heat might, then there's a chance of heat gain in the flowing air to the metal duct. That is why we put insulation around that duct. And Armacell is supplying this insulation to our data centers. Also with claddings, like you see before in your screen, with colored glass cloths. This is basically to prevent any mechanical damage to the insulation, and also it is used to distinguish between the supply and the return air. The second most important area of application where efficiency is to be monitored through heat gain is the chill water pipeline. In chill water pipeline are flowing inside the pipe at very low temperatures. It is between 5 to 7 degrees centigrade supply, 12 to 15 in return. So there are very high chances of heat gain in the flowing medium. There is a chill water, and thus the efficiency get hampered of the HVAC system. So we use insulation with correct thickness so that heat gain, heat transfer is prevented, and also condensation doesn't happen. And again here, Armacell is providing insulation with colored glass cloth. We also have option of a non-metallic covering, which can be used for open to sky application for chill water piping for all weather conditions. The another application area where cooling system efficiency can get hampered is heat diffusion through the ceiling, basically the topmost floor where the sunlight is incident on this lab. So it can come add heat to the data center hall. So this is an underdeck application which you see before your screen. Armacell is applying our Armaflex sheets on that under ceiling, and this prevents the heat gain, the heat transfer from the outside to the inside the data center hall, and this is how the efficiency, the cooling efficiency is getting maintained. The another application is below false flooring. Sometimes the flow of air is below the false floor and it comes up to the server stacks. So there also we need the insulation, because if the below floors are at different temperatures, fifth floor or the fourth floor is at different temperature than the fifth floor, then heat might gain from fourth to fifth. So in order to, and it again hampers the cooling efficiency. So in order to prevent that, this is an below false flooring application which you see on your screens, and it prevents the that heat conduction in the data center hall. And the product which you see is Armaflex glass with Armacheck silver covering. A product designed well but not applied correctly will not serve the value it is designed for. So right from the start, from the designing phase, we get engaged with all the stakeholders of the data center with our thickness calculating tool. Then we have technical documents to support our claims, and then we have some successful reference project case studies to back our proposal. Also, when the product is on the site, it is to be correctly installed. So what we do is our application engineer team of Armacell is visiting sites, doing mock-ups, training people, and ensuring that the application is done correctly so that the insulation performs its intended course and the efficiency of the cooling system, that is HVAC system, is maintained inside the data center. We also, in order to remove the human error, we have a dedicated toolkit with the application manuals as well. Would like to gladly share some project references which we are doing and we have done. And in this way, we got this opportunity to be a part of a cause in a data center where 60 to 70% of the power input is alone consumed by the HVAC system, and so it is very much critical to maintain the efficiency of the HVAC system. And we are glad we are doing the same. Thank you